Aloha and mahalo for joining me. I'm Janet Johnston, and I appreciate you being here. And I am here to help you and to guide you to be able to design and create a life and a business that works best for you, and that you can have a life that you enjoy, and that you have something excited to wake up to every morning. And today I have something interesting I want to share with you. So, today, if my grandmother was alive, it would be her 101st birthday. 101 she would be today if she was alive. Now, my grandmother passed away about 16 years ago, and I find it interesting because she died when she was like 84 and a half. Excuse me. And I want to share with you, and the reason I mention it is because I want to share with you some of the things that she taught me, good and bad. Okay, now we always will learn from family members. We will always learn good things and we will always learn bad things, right? That's just how life is because we're not perfect human beings. But the reason I want to share this is because it's so important to pay attention to who we listen to and what we learn and who we learn from. Now, my grandmother was not a perfect person. She made her own mistakes, and but I think as she became a grandmother and a great grandmother, she just got so refined in how she lived life and how she treated people. And I think that's part of everyone's journey, right? Is that we try to refine ourselves and become better and learn from our mistakes. But one of the things that I want to touch upon is that she really, one of the good things is that she really showed me how to serve others. And she did it without question. She did it without like saying, "Oh, well, I don't know. I got to check my schedule," or "I'm too busy." She never ever said anything like that. Now, we lived with my grandma for the first 4 years of my life. And after that though, I still would spend a lot of time with her. And one of the things that she did was she would always help people because she lived in town, downtown Honolulu, and she had the freedom, the financial freedom to help others. Like she would help a family member who didn't drive, and he worked at the University of Hawaii. And so she would pick him up, and he didn't live really far from where she did, but she would pick him up at his home and take him to work, and pick him up after, and she would do this for years. And I remember going with her many times to pick up this family member, and she never complained. And I just thought it interesting as I got older. When you're a little kid, you don't really think about it. You're kind of in your own little world and you don't really know what's going on. I just remember like loved being with my grandma, and and I would go with her. And some of the other things that she used to do was like she had siblings who kind of lived close by to where she was. So like if her brother up the street, if he was sick or his wife needed something, she would go and drop off food, or she would go and help pick up and drop off, her brother or her sister-in-law, or she was always doing that. I remember her, like, because I went with her a lot when, and she would babysit me a lot too, I remember. But all I remember was seeing her like helping people all the time, whether it was taking food or picking up, dropping off, if they needed a ride or anything like that. She would just do it. And as I became an adult and I had my own family, I really started to ponder and think about all these things that I was witnessing as a child but never thought anything of it. But what I realized though is that I took on that same attitude and that same way of living, and I had that same desire. I always wanted to help people, and so I find myself in the last, 25, 30 years doing the same thing that she has done for, all my life that I've seen her do it. I don't know how long, if she ever did it before I was born, but, I never did ask. But I find myself finding such great satisfaction and joy when I do the same things. If someone needs a ride, they'll call me. I can go pick them up or drop them off, or, if they needed a ride to the airport, or if someone is sick, we have a group network of women that I go to church with, that we help each other like that. If someone is sick, we'll go and, bring meals to them and their families. If someone has a baby, we'll go and bring meals for their family, and, all that kind of stuff. And I just find that that example has really made such a big impression on me that I find myself just naturally doing it without even thinking or hesitating, and no complaining. I don't find myself thinking, oh, I don't have time for this, or really, like, why can't they do it themselves, or why, I never say anything like that, or, can't they find somebody else? I have never ever had that kind of attitude. And I find that as I do more of that kind of stuff, it just makes me feel better as a human being, as a person. Like, I just find that I'm refining myself, and just really loving more who I am, versus remembering all the bad things I've ever done and all the regrets that I have, because I have a lot. But I find that as the years go on and the more service that I do, that it just makes me a better person. And I like being around myself a lot more now, because I've taken on that way of living and attitude. And I find it really like a blessing that my grandma was a great example in that way, where, I took that on just by witnessing and being with her all those years in what she was doing. And I want that for you. I want you to be able to find something good in a family member, or, a close friend, something that they've done that you just find so amazing that you would like to emulate. There's always good and bad things that we learn from those that we grow up around, and it's just interesting because you don't really pay attention to it until, like, something happens or you get older, and you think, oh. And especially after my grandmother died, I really started to reflect on all the things that I've learned from her. And and because when someone is gone, that's when you start to think about them more. I think when someone's alive, you just take things for granted, that, oh yeah, I can just call them, or next week I can go and visit them. But when they're not here, you just seem to take on, or I seem to have taken on, a different perspective. And 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 so anyway, that's what I want to share with you today, is to go find someone who you just admire those qualities, and try to implement those things in your life. And it's just fascinating what you will discover about yourself. What's more exciting and fascinating is that you become a better person, and you can really, like, start to improve your life, which is kind of what I like to share, is all the things that can help you live a better life. And I always say, every time I'm talking, is you need something to get you excited about when you wake up first thing in the morning. You know, you don't want to go through that daily grind of working, coming home, going to bed, getting up, going to work, same old grind. You need something to get you excited about. And finding someone to emulate their good qualities is just one of the pieces of the millions of puzzle pieces that you can use in your own puzzle piece in your life, right? It's like our life is like a work in progress. We're putting all these puzzle pieces together that when we create our life. So I want to encourage you to do that today and share with me in the comments, or you can send me a direct message. Share with me what you have done, or someone that you feel like you can emulate. Like, what is the quality that you want to take on? And maybe it is somebody that you grew up with. Maybe it is a grandparent or even a parent. What did they do that you would love to emulate? So share it, and please share this video as well with anyone who would get great value out of it, and with anyone who would like to do the same thing. And we need to like help each other. That's just how the world goes, how the world works, right? How the world goes around is we all help each other, and we become a better human being in the process. But if you have any questions, let me know. But I'd love for you to share any of your experiences with me. But keep in mind, and it's never like too late. It doesn't matter like how old you are to emulate a good quality that you've witnessed. And thank you so much for letting me share about my grandmother. I can't believe it. I was thinking about this last night. Like, if she was alive, she would be 101. That's incredible. And she lived a full life. So I hope to do the same as I get older, to live a full life and, find that joy when I wake up every morning. So I wish all of you the best, and I hope you all have a great day. And thank you so much for being here and watching this video. And you take care of yourself. Aloha.